Then we get on to the slaying of Charlie Kirk, which... I mean, I put out a video about this yesterday for the alternative paper review, which I do most mornings, which I thought was quite tame. I thought it was quite reasonable. I don't know if anyone in the live chat caught it. Certainly wasn't, frenetic or particularly judgy. Certainly don't think it veered into like insensitive and callous and all of those tropes that are being bandied about. It acknowledged the insanity of the situation. I think I said how wrong it is to murder people for any reason, let alone terrorism, political, ideological reasons. I think I said violence should never be the answer. I think I emphasized that 2 or 3 times. I said, although I don't think it does anyone any favors to whitewash his legacy and pretend he didn't say things that he definitely did say, I said he was still a husband and a father. And I emphasized the sadness of that situation for him, for his family, for anyone who is propelled into an upbringing where they are raised with a distant, absent, or deceased father. Like, the fatherlessness stuff is real. Like this, I always talk about this with death and like friends I've lost along the way, about how actually there's like 2 or 3 different stages of that grief, where like in the immediate it's the shock, but then as you get older you mourn the life that they would have had, the different stages of that life, and whether they would have gone on to have kids and grandchildren, and they could have, like how many different acts have you had in your life, and all of that life that they fucking missed out on. So I think I did a reasonable job. I'm not going to pretend I'm the most eloquent, articulate, and earnest presenter, podcaster, or, all-round internet bastard out there. But it's actually startling, the dynamic and the frenzy that we've descended to now with this stuff, where there's comments where people seem to suggest, off the back of that video, that I or my followers are celebrating this, which absolutely we are not. Hasn't happened. It didn't happen. It's a non-thing that you're talking about. What? Like, I was pretty clear in the video how, I don't know any lefties who were like, yeah, murder! Like, none! No, kill him! Like, nobody that I associate with is like that. Most lefties I know are scared by gun violence. And this might blow your fucking mind, but they want fewer guns and fewer gun deaths. Broadly, doesn't matter what political side of the aisle you're on. Fewer gun deaths and fewer guns over in the States, or here with illegal firearms or knives, or starvation in Gaza. Just less of the deading. Can we do less of the deading, please, people? Is typically our thing. Everyone I know has been, talking about his wife and kids, espousing compassion and God, that's fucking sad. Everyone I know has been saying that the murderer should be caught and charged and sentenced and jailed. And so it's just, I don't know, man. It's just fucking wild to get comments like that from non-bot accounts as well. I got a comment yesterday where the author was criticizing me and my ideology that I supposedly subscribe to, saying that it's intolerant and violent. And I'm like, what ideology do you think that I have here? Literally all I want, basically all I ever fucking bang on about is like, can we have more childcare, a little bit of press reg, and fairness? Can we have some fairness just across the board, please? Just fairness and less tribalism and less mob justice nonsense is all I ask for. Fairness. You know, what does that look like, Aid? What is fair to you and your ideology? Well, okay. I will explain, imaginary heckler in my head. If an asylum seeker gets caught sexually assaulting a teenager in Epping, arrest him, charge him, jail him, the end. Right? Doesn't matter if he's an asylum seeker or a white guy from Epping or a Chinese guy from Birmingham or whatever. If he does that sort of stuff, you arrest, you charge, you jail him. It's not complicated. Fairness. One justice for all. If Trump gets caught trying to run a coup, classic Donny. Getting all cooey. Cooey! If Trump gets caught trying to run a coup, there should be consequences, right? Just like if anyone tried to launch a coup on the United States, on the world's greatest democracy, they should be arrested and charged and jailed accordingly. There should be consequences. If Bill Clinton, if it turns out that his name is on the Epstein client list, he should go to jail. It's fairness. Just like if it's Prince Andrew, just like if it's Donald Trump, or if it's Bill Clinton, whoever the fuck it is, if they're on the Epstein client list, investigate, ask them questions, charge them if you can, sentence them, jail. This isn't complicated stuff. Fairness. Guys, like, am I punch drunk on doctrine? Here, is this my ideology talking, or does that not all sound pretty fucking reasonable? Oh, you and your intolerant and violent ideology, Hate. I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure my ideology is intolerant and violent? Are you sure it's not just idealistic and kind of boring, if we're honest? It's kind of boring to just be like, yeah, it's the same, literally for everyone. Same set of conditions, parameters, variables. We all just, yes, one justice for all, I'm afraid. Very unexciting. Like, how hard is it to get on board with this shit? You know, how unreasonable does all that sound to you? Left or right wing? No to corruption, whoever the donors and whips are. No to assassinations, regardless of the party. No to mob rule. Yes to due process. No to celebrating the murders of politicians. But also no to, cowardly whitewashing shit. No to pretending things were never how they definitely were. In the run-up, in the build-up to things. Like, significant events like those that we've seen happen this week, they don't just happen in a contextless bubble, do they? You can criticize. We're grown-ups. Let's have an appraisal. Let's be honest about this stuff. Is all I'm saying. Just a bit of fairness is all. That's my ideology. Does that sound intolerant? Does that sound violent? But yeah, the criticism, man, is like, I make a video that I thought was pretty tame, but out come these comments suggesting that the comment section itself is a cultivated, toxic community that I'm building. And I'm like, did you even watch the fucking video? Did you even, like, what? People run to this, like, intolerant, violent left shit. Even when it's a time in the build-up to the arrest of this guy, they didn't even fucking know who did it. Maybe it was always going to be a radicalized leftist. Maybe that's true. Or maybe it would be like the other two attempts, like on Trump, that he blamed on leftist, and then later on it turned out that they were Republicans. So maybe it could be either. Like, how could you possibly know? But I really do think, like, this sort of thing is indicative. It is illustrative of how far the dynamics have sunk now, for want of a better phrase. Is you can make a pretty reasonable video that is pretty tame, It's a left, self-confessed, like left of center person's perspective, a slightly left-leaning guy's appraisal of who this guy was, or of the, the type of things that he said that others had found upsetting. But you can also emphasize how wrong all of that is, and how the killer should, and now by all accounts has, and will, be arrested and face justice. And you could talk earnestly with no snark about how much of a tragedy it is for the guy's daughters. And even that, guys, to some people, is so far left of where they have buried themselves, of how far they've gone over there on the political landscape, that to them sounds like you are a raging fucking communist. Doesn't it? It's like the Overton Window is like that. Just even the centre left now sounds toxic, violent, and intolerant.